Red Bull's sudden shortage of race pace in comparison to Ferrari was a notable talking point from the Austrian Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc breezed past Max Verstappen for the lead on no fewer than 3 occasions. This was in stark contrast to Saturday's sprint qualifying, which saw the world champion easily drop the squabbling Ferraris. Red Bull team boss Christian Horner put Sunday's troubles partly down to the slightly cooler conditions experienced in the main event at the team's own track, but there may be a deeper flaw that's even closer to home. Before we look at what it might be, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and in order to catch every video, turn on notifications too. It's all a big help to us. The race results page from the Red Bull Ring may not seem so catastrophic to future generations, but they won't paint the full picture. Already in a fluster from Carlos Sainz's dramatic engine failure behind Verstappen on lap 57, the second of its kind for the Scuderia in the last 3 races, Leclerc reported throttle issues numerous times in the last 10 laps. Upon reflection, all this did, apart from raise a few pulses, was allow Verstappen to close the gap to 1.5 seconds at the flag. Still, Red Bull was far from victory, as shown by the uncharacteristically tame battles between the 2 championship favourites. Both drivers went into the race with an intended 2-stop strategy. Due to Sainz's fiery exit and the subsequent virtual safety car period, this transformed into a 3-stopper. They were the outliers of the field. No surprises there, given the chasm between them and third-place man Lewis Hamilton was similar to the distance between Hamilton and P7 man Lando Norris. The timing of the stops was more telling. Having spent 5 laps haunting Verstappen, Leclerc's first move on the Dutchman at turn 4 on lap 12 prompted a hive of activity in the Red Bull garage 1 tour later. Unfortunately, we can't compare the 2 Red Bulls. Further pit activity, but of a more depressing nature, saw Perez retire after just 25 painful laps, the result of first lap contact with George Russell. A Mercedes and a Red Bull tangling in Styria? You wouldn't believe it. Leclerc's first tyre change came on lap 26. Bear in mind that both drivers started on the medium compound. Verstappen managed 24 laps on his first set of hards, his second set fitted on lap 37. In that 24-lap period, a brief renaissance looked on the cards, with the fastest lap and some nifty moves on the Haas duo of Mick Schumacher and Kevin Magnussen, and then Hamilton. He also managed to stay within Leclerc's pit window, but it only took 7 laps for the Ferrari to catch and pass for the lead once more. Leclerc's strategy was more uniform in theory. His first hard tyre stint lasted 21 laps, and his second hard tyre stint should have lasted 21 laps too, instead of 9, but we've covered the reason for the extra pit stop. But what was the reason for Red Bull's tyre chewing performance? Verstappen isn't a particularly inflexible driver with little tyre sensitivity, and despite what Horner said, the conditions weren't overly different over the 2 days, so the focus shifts to the more mechanical player in the story. Post-race, Horner told Formula 1, they had a quicker car for the majority of the race and Max was coming back at the end there, but our tyre deg was higher from halfway through the first stint and it was hard to combat that. Ferrari just seemed lighter on the tyres, they had a pace advantage, and then that just gives you more strategic options. Red Bull's motorsport advisor Dr. Helmut Marko was also perplexed by the problems in the first 3 stints, adding that Verstappen's last set of mediums worked as well as intended. The mediums used in the 24-lap sprint qualifying also showed no signs of excessive performance impacting wear, even though Pirelli brought the 3 softest tyres in its 22 range. Some parts of the German media have posed that Red Bull's weight problems could be the source. F1 2022's minimum weight has been a problem for the majority of the field, with only Alfa Romeo reportedly making the target of 798 kilograms for the start of the season. This led, of course, to vociferous opposition to raise the target even more, which would have been the 3rd change in a matter of months. They were ultimately rebuffed. After recent upgrades, Red Bull has rather vaguely said that the RB18 is around 10 kilos above that figure, with Ferrari believed to be sitting at the limit. With a heavier car, the demand on the tyres increases in all of its responsibilities, whether that be braking, turning or accelerating. The free-flowing nature of the Austrian 2nd and 3rd sectors would not have played into a heavyweight's hands as well. Slight tyre pressure changes, which still have to be in the limits suggested by Pirelli and defined by the regulations, can be made to counteract some of the negatives. But like all setup changes, it's a compromise and can have unwanted effects on tyre temperatures. Keeping them cool was believed to be the main issue for Verstappen, who reported fading grip levels early on in his second stint. It's anticipated that Red Bull will now start a diet of some sort in the wake of the upgrades introduced for the British Grand Prix. Some changes may be enforced if Mercedes' veiled allegations of foul floor play against F1's 2 top teams are found to be true in the coming days. Of course, that's at the time of writing and recording, you may well already know. Red Bull's tyre troubles could just be an Austrian anomaly, but should it continue, it may just give Ferrari a concrete way back into a championship fight that looked to be going up in flames for the team, quite literally at times. Let us know your opinions in the comments. Is there real substance to this? If you've enjoyed this video, a like would make our day, and once more, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of our uploads. Until next time, thanks for watching.